Fans lined up around the perimeter of the pitch as well, and everyone waiting for this moment. The two sets of players making their way out for what is a proper David versus Goliath showdown in the French Cup. The second division strugglers of Bourg-en-Bresse playing host to Olympique de Marseille, currently second in Ligue 1 and the second most successful club in the history of the French Cup. 10-time winners. Realistic candidates to win it this season as well, up against a side who have already beaten top-flight opponents in the French Cup this season. There is Dimitri Payet, one of the big stars in the Marseille team, brought back a year ago for 30 million euros from West Ham United for a second spell at the club. And in the team this evening, even with a number of big-name players left out by Rudy Garcia. This is the Bourg-en-Bresse team. They're currently struggling in the second division. Their coach, Hervé de la Maggiore, who's been in charge for a decade now, makes 3 changes to the team that lost in the league at the weekend to Gazalec Ajaccio. Among them, Sébastien Calamon coming in goal, the 32-year-old, who is a Marseille fan, getting his chance tonight with Gaëtan Deneuve injured. Also returning, Johan Cour, who's played in Ligue 1 before for Troyes, and was one of 3 January signings made by the club to start this evening. François Letexier is the referee, the man in the middle tonight. One of the most talented young whistlers in the French game. Bourg-en-Bresse in blue, Marseille in their familiar white. Rudy Garcia ringing the changes. They won 6-3 at the weekend at home against Metz in Ligue 1. 6 changes from that game. Aymen Abdenour comes into the defence. Jordan Amavi returns after about a month on the sidelines with a thigh injury. Maxime Lopez plays in midfield. Clinton Ng and Lucas Ocampos come in on the wings. And Kostas Mitroglou, the Greek striker, who has been a bit of a disappointment since arriving from Benfica in the August transfer window, handed a start tonight. A rare opportunity for him with Valère Germain and Florian Thauvin missing from the Marseille team this evening. Hervé de la Maggiore, who took over at Bourg-en-Bresse in 2008, has led them up through the divisions, and now they're in their 3rd season in Ligue 2. There's Steve Mandanda, who keeps his place in goal for Marseille tonight. Johan Pelé, his usual backup, might have expected to get a chance from the start, but he is only a substitute this evening. Rudy Garcia doing a fine job at Marseille. His finest achievement remains back in the 2010-11 season when he led Lille to the double of League and French Cup. Adil Rami was at Lille in those days. So we're ready to go here at the Stade Marcel Verchères. It is the kind of tie that makes the French Cup what it is. Such a special occasion in these parts. It's a bitterly cold February evening here as Bourg-en-Bresse, 3rd from bottom in the 2nd division in France, take on the mighty Olympique de Marseille, 10-time winners of the competition, and currently flying high in 2nd place in Ligue 1. And already inside the opening minute, the home team have themselves a potentially dangerous free kick here. For Marseille, this game will be all about just getting the job done and moving on to the next challenge. They don't want to lose an early goal. The free kick is a poor one from Johan Cour. Well, the snow mercifully stayed away today, ensuring that this game could go ahead without any problems. It has been snowing heavily in other parts of France, in the capital Paris notably, causing a little bit of chaos, and just reminding us, after what has been a very mild winter in France, that it is very much that time of year. And the snow is now falling, albeit lightly, over the Stade Marcel Verchères. This early evening kickoff at 6:30 local time here in Bourg-en-Bresse, about an hour's drive north of Lyon, and about 100 kilometers away from Geneva, across in Switzerland as well. Marseille flew up here from down on the Mediterranean coast. The first of two big games in the space of 4 days in this region for them, because they play Saint-Etienne in the league on Friday. Awkward one for Aymen Abdenour. Bourg-en-Bresse certainly starting as they mean to go on here. Here's Luis Gustavo, pressed excellently by Youssouf Ndiaye, now with Dimitri Payet. Adil Rami for the youngster Maxime Lopez. Marseille's recent form really impressive. Unbeaten in the last 8 matches in all competitions. They've lost just one of their last 19 league games. That was away at Lyon just before the winter break. And fresh from a 6-3 victory last Friday at home against Metz, who are currently bottom of Ligue 1. Luis Gustavo on the ball now, looking for Kostas Mitroglou. It's a big occasion for Mitroglou, the Greek striker wearing the number 11 jersey for Marseille tonight. Picked up by Ndiaye. Guillaume Henry, the number 10, on the ball for Bourg-en-Bresse. Adil Rami back to his goalkeeper, Steve Mandanda. And the flag up against Mitroglou. There is Kostas Mitroglou, who got a much-needed goal in that game against Metz at the weekend to boost his confidence. Just 4 times he's found the net since arriving from Benfica just before the summer transfer window shut. Luis Gustavo. Pass intercepted by Ndiaye. Ocampos. One back again by Ndiaye. Jimmy Nielo, the captain, towards Pat Pie. And Abdenour, the Marseille defender, coming across. And that will be a free kick to the home team. And a yellow card as well for the Marseille defender. Brought in from Valencia at the start of the season. Hasn't played an awful lot of football. It's one thing he admitted ahead of this game, that he would like to play more often, but his way to the team has been barred by Jorge Rolando, Portuguese defender, who's only on the bench this evening. Chance then for Abdenour, but he was at fault there, and his team once again having to defend a free kick. Cool to take it, but couldn't beat the first defender. Bounassar it was. Rudy Garcia wrapped up warm. Pat Pie will take the throw. Luis Gustavo got his head to it, cleared by Ocampos. Helped on by Rami. Ambitious attempt from long range from Jordan Pierre-Charles, the left-back, who's got to get back here. Clinton NG leading the break for Marseille. NG's got pace to burn. And Pierre Charles does well and wins the free kick. Good defending from the Bourg-en-Bresse player. Clinton NG profiting from the absence of Florian Thauvin this evening. Marseille's standout player this season. It's not a good kick though from Sébastien Calamon. We all know about the success that Rudy Garcia has enjoyed in his career. Hervé de la Maggiore, not a household name, but he has been a hero for Bourg-en-Bresse, the job he's done in 10 years at the helm here, leading this club up to the second division and keeping them there, a third consecutive campaign. And there's no question that, well, this is a massive occasion for them tonight. I think they would happily lose this game if it meant staying in Ligue 2 for another season. They're currently third bottom. Mandanda having to come and mop up there. Here's Luis Gustavo. Campos ahead of him. Well, Campos met by a crunching challenge. The home fans like that one. Yanis Mergi giving chase. Abdenour does well. Picked up again by Pat Pye. Bourg-en-Bresse certainly getting stuck in the early stages here, pressing high up the field. Johan Cour has been penalised there, though. Well, look at this challenge on Lucas Ocampos. I think some referees might have given Marseille a free kick there. And Ocampos complaining to the referee. The Argentine winger who Rudy Garcia likes. He came back to Marseille, started this season after time on loan in Italy. And he's become a regular in the team. Here is Ocampos. Clinton NG, the Cameroon international, formerly of Tottenham Hotspur. To Payet. Luis Gustavo can hit the ball on his left foot from range. Luis Gustavo, and he's done it. That is exactly what the Brazilian has done. And it's the perfect start to this game for Olympique de Marseille. Luis Gustavo, the scorer. And he goes across to celebrate with the travelling supporters here. Well, Luis Gustavo has been an outstanding signing for Marseille since arriving from Wolfsburg ahead of this campaign. He may be a defensive midfielder, but he pops up with his fair share of goals too. He scored in some very big games in Ligue 1 this season against the likes of Nice and Paris Saint-Germain. Well, there's another one in the French Cup. A fine strike, giving Sébastien Calamon in the home goal no chance. Well, that is a real dampener for the home team. Bourg-en-Bresse had been very lively indeed in the first 9 minutes here. They and their fans certainly very much up for this cup tie. The question is, can they get back into it quickly? The ball in from Guillaume Henry. Henry will get another bite at this. Blocked by Adil Rami. Campos towards Payet. Away by Amiot. Maxime Lopez. Ocampos releasing NG. Just checked his run briefly, but he was onside. Dimitri Payet. He's fouled on the edge of the box. The referee thought about playing the advantage, but instead he's given Marseille the free kick. 20 yards from goal. And Payet might just fancy this himself. He couldn't get his body into the right shape to get a shot at goal there, Dimitri Payet. Sébastien Callamont, not the usual starter in goal for Bourg-en-Bresse, playing this evening because Gaëtan Deneuve had to come off injured at the weekend in the match here against Clermont. Payet and Luis Gustavo standing over this. Payet on his right, Luis Gustavo on his left. Those are the two options. It is Payet. Up and over the wall and in from Dimitri Payet. And with just 12 minutes gone here, Marseille lead 2-0. Well, you have to admire the touch of class from Dimitri Payet. He won the free kick and he took it majestically. A really excellent strike from a player who, in all honesty, hasn't delivered enough goals since returning to Marseille 12 months ago. He made it look very easy indeed. And Callamont hardly moved. Beaten all ends up, the Bourg-en-Bresse keeper. They lost 2-0 here in the league at the weekend against Clermont. And they're 2-0 down here against Marseille tonight, with just 13 minutes on the clock. Luis Gustavo, scorer of the first goal, dispossessed by Jimmy Nielo. Bounassar deputising again for Hiroki Sakai at right back for Marseille. Bounassar. Payet back to Luis Gustavo. Can he get another one? Off target that time, the Brazilian. The two men who've got the goals thus far, Payet and Luis Gustavo linking up. Of course, at 2-0 there is still hope for Bourg-en-Bresse. At 3-0 I think it would become rather too high a mountain to climb. Grégoire Amiot with the long ball forward. Nielo, the captain, caught in possession by Ocampos. He's got it again. I have to say that Marseille look hungry tonight. Lopez. Ocampos to Clinton Ng. Now with Payet. Lovely ball from Payet towards Ocampos, who is annoyed at himself for not making more of that ball. Henry for the home team. Jordan Amavi going back to Steve Mandanda, the France international, in goal. Payet and Luis Gustavo once again. Payet now looking to release Mitroglou. He looks across the line. He is onside, Mitroglou. It's unselfish play from the Greek forward. You could understand Mitroglou wanting to put that chance away himself, but instead he squares it for Ocampos, and he is on the score sheet as well. Well, this is ruthless from Marseille. Kostas Mitroglou. A rare start for the ex-Benfica man tonight in place of Valère Germain up front for Marseille. He could have done with the goal, but he gives it to Lucas Ocampos instead. And with just 16 minutes on the clock, it's a walk in the park for Marseille. Of course, when you compare the financial power of the two clubs, Marseille should win this tie comfortably. Bourg-en-Bresse with an annual budget which has risen this year to about €7.5 million. In comparison, Marseille's two highest paid players, Luis Gustavo and Dimitri Payet, both earning about €6 million a year each. Quite simply, there is no comparing the two clubs. Bourg-en-Bresse enjoying the most successful periods in their history in terms of being a second division club for the third season running. We're going to have to keep fighting tonight, otherwise this could get a little bit embarrassing for them. Excellent tackle on Payet. Guillaume Henry doing well. Cool with the through ball for Pape, coming forward from right back. Cool continuing his run. Brought down just outside the box. The referee letting play continue. Ndiaye has been caught in possession here. Payet. Slightly heavy touch from Payet, but he managed to find Clinton Ng. Wasn't a good ball from Ng. Mitroglou has kept it in. And Sébastien Calamont has plucked that ball out of the air. Kevin Kubemba just running out of space. The Bourg-en-Bresse forward. Hervé de la Maggiore seen Kubemba arrive in January along with Johan Cour and Jordan-Pierre Charles, fellow starters this evening. He was keen to strengthen his squad. The push to avoid relegation in the second half of the campaign. That is the priority, and very soon they will revert their focus to that, but now they've got some more defending to do. Dimitri Payet once again for Marseille. Clinton Ng. Bounassar coming forward outside him. Bounassar's cross. Mitroglou, it's 4-0. Less than 20 minutes gone here. And things are going so well for Marseille that even Kostas Mitroglou has found the back of the net. An excellent ball held up for Mitroglou on the edge of the 6-yard box. Bounassar it was with the delivery. It's just his 5th goal for the club. There were suggestions that Marseille wanted to move him on in the January transfer window. And he's seizing a rare opportunity this evening, and this is quite remarkable from Marseille. Remember, they scored 6 in the league at the weekend and 4 already tonight, even without Florian Thauvin, who got a hat-trick in that game. Mandanda given a nightmare of a back pass from Ayman Abdenour. He dealt with it well. Bounassar. Payet is inside him. It's a good ball from Bounassar. Payet might fancy a shot at goal. Stopped outside the box by Pape. The referee had a good look at it and says play on. Grégoire Amiot. Captain Jimmy Nielo, one of the longest-serving players at the club since 2012. Kubemba, one of the new boys, with the ball out to Pai. Pai's cross. Even now, it's just the consolation that Bourg-en-Bresse are looking for. Maxime Lopez and G making the run. I have to say that these Marseille players who've been brought into the team tonight look incredibly hungry, determined to make an impression. Mitroglou has a goal and an assist, but that was not quite so impressive from the Greek forward. Was intended as a pass for Payet, which is not immediately obvious from that replay. Well, Bourg-en-Bresse's finest moment as a club remains their run in the French Cup in 1998, 2 decades ago, when they made it to the quarter-finals. Payet has run that ball out for a goal kick midway through the first half here. They're not going to match that run to the last 8 when they pulled off a huge shot by eliminating Metz in the last 16 in a game played in Lyon, which is about an hour's drive to the south of here. They won 2-0 on that occasion against a Metz team containing, amongst others, Robert Pires, later of Marseille, and of course Arsenal and France. And Metz may currently be bottom of Ligue 1, but that year they finished second in the top flight. It really was an incredible performance from Bourg-en-Bresse, who were then eliminated by Lyon in the last 8. Great year for them, a great year for French football in general, of course, with the national team winning the World Cup on home soil. This is a World Cup year. France harbouring genuine ambitions of winning the World Cup. And a few of these Marseille players hoping to go to Russia in Didier Deschamps' squad. And they're just too strong for Bourg-en-Bresse. But these Bourg-en-Bresse heroes of 1998 were paraded ahead of the game. They'll never be forgotten in these parts. They have had 1 or 2 decent runs in the Cups down the years. And indeed, in 2012, they came up against Marseille. And were knocked out in a tie at the Velodrome. That was at the same stage. They lost 3-1 on that occasion. Clinton NG going for power towards the near post. Hervé de la Maggiore was already the coach, of course, for that run in 2012 when Bourg-en-Bresse were a 4th-tier club playing in the amateur ranks of French football. They'd beaten a top-flight side in Ajaccio in the previous round, but were not strong enough against Marseille. But that tie 6 years ago, they couldn't host it at home because of the state of the ground. It was meant to be played in Saint-Étienne, had to be postponed because of the weather, and they ended up playing it at the Velodrome. Here, at least tonight, they've been able to entertain the former European champions at the Stade Marcel Vercher. But the party has fallen somewhat flat, and it's the away fans that you can hear at the moment. Maxime Lopez for Payet towards Bounassar. Payet. Payet's cross. Away by Pai. Well, Kevin Kubemba could be forgiven for looking a little bit lost at the moment, playing up front for the home team this evening. Marseille's burst of 4 goals in little more than 10 minutes, leaving many in the home ranks shell-shocked. Here's Bounassar, playing the 1-2 with Payet. Clinton NG running again from NG, and he's won his side a corner, their first of the game. Came off Grégoire Amiot. The Marseille fans have come in decent numbers this evening, about 400 or so, packed into that small corner of the ground. Corner all the way towards Amavi on the edge of the box. Amavi's shot brilliantly struck from Jordan Amavi, and finally Sébastien Calamont in the Bourg-en-Bresse goal is able to make a save. And what a save it was too from Calamont, who is a Marseille fan. Another corner played short that time. Amavi forced back to Adil Rami. Bounassar. Mitroglou, that time Mitroglou is offside. Jordan Amavi scored Marseille's winner against Valenciennes in their first outing in the French Cup this season, the round of 64 at the beginning of January. The goal coming in extra time. A few days later, he tore a thigh muscle in training. And here we are, nearly a month later, he is finally back in the side, which is a big boost for Marseille. Luis Gustavo giving it to Amavi. Abdenour. Adil Rami. Cross to Payet. What a ball that was from Payet towards Clinton NG, but claimed by Calamont. And a free kick given away by Mitroglou. Amiot towards Johan Cour. Ndiaye looking to play it through to Kubemba. Lopez. Payet. For once, his footwork letting himself down. Pai's attempted cross is blocked. Pai, who previously played for Lorient, who were relegated from the top flight of French football last season. Ball in, headed on by Henry, headed out by Rami, not fully cleared, and the shot is just over the bar, skims the top of the net. A very decent attempt from Jimmy Nielo. Jimmy Nielo, who comes from not far away from here, from Oyonnax, better known for its rugby team. Bourg-en-Bresse itself not renowned as a football town, the first professional club indeed, Bourg-en-Bresse, to come from this region. L'Ain, as it's known. Just between Lyon and the Swiss border and the mountains not far away. A lovely region of France. Cross headed out by Abdennour, stopped by Luis Gustavo. Lifted towards the box by Ndiaye. Nicely done by Youssouf Ndiaye. Yanis Mergi has hardly had a touch of the ball yet. Yanis Mergi, the diminutive forward, and the shot from Guillaume Henry is over the bar. Well, this is a bit better from Bourg-en-Bresse, but still not enough to test Steve Mandanda in goal. Yanis Mergi losing out to Jordan Amavi at the edge of the box, but Guillaume Henry picking up the loose ball and firing well over the bar. He was leaning back as he hit it. Marseille beating Bourg-en-Bresse in the French Cup back in 2012, and they won here in the Coupe de la Ligue, the other knockout competition, in the 2015-16 campaign. 3-2 victory. So they're no strangers, these two clubs, even if there are very few survivors from that last meeting, albeit that man Bouna Sarr played in that game in the 2015-16 season and scored in it too, but he was caught out there and it nearly led to Bourg-en-Bresse getting a goal back. Kubemba with his head in his hands, Sarr dispossessed, and Adil Rami failing to cut out that low cross at the near post. Good play from Guillaume Henry once again. And really, Kubemba certainly should have hit the target from there. Instead, the attempt is well over the crossbar. Well, inevitably after that 4-goal salvo, Marseille are not in a hurry to do anything at the moment. Luis Gustavo. Pass aimed towards Amavi. Joan Cour. Luis Gustavo. Fine play again from the Brazilian. Payet with the through ball. Well read by Jordan Pierre-Charles. Pay. Joan Cour towards Kubemba. Cross in from the right-hand side. It's a good one. It's over the head of Henry, and Mandanda, I think, was happy to leave that ball. Kept in by Clinton Ng. Maxime Lopez, now with Bouna Sarr. Picked up again by Pierre-Charles. Sarr once more. Preferred to Hiroki Sakai at right back this evening. Sakai, the Japanese international, is among the substitutes. 7 players on the bench for each side in the French Cup, just as there is in Ligue 1. Bouna Sarr been converted into a right back by Rudy Garcia this season, having previously played further forward on the wing. Adil Rami. Rami's ball towards Payet. Inside to Lopez. Lopez looking for Mitroglou in the box. Header away was from Nicolas Sanroof. Bounassar. Well, the pass intended for Clinton NG. Snow falling heavily here now over the Stade Marcel Verchères. It is very light snow. It doesn't seem to be lying on the ground at all. Payet. And Payet's ball aimed towards Mitroglou. It might fall for Ocampos. Oh, that could and probably should have been a goal from Lucas Ocampos. He already has one. Payet's ball coming off Grégoire Amiot and falling for Ocampos. Difficult for Bourg-en-Bresse tonight. They lost their first choice goalkeeper, Gaëtan Deneuve, to injury in that game against Clermont at the weekend. They had little forward Julien Beg sent off in that game as well, so he's suspended. And also banned is Christopher Martins Pereira, the talented young midfielder who's on loan here from Olympique Lyonnais. Luxembourg international, Christopher Martins Pereira. The latest in a line of players to have been loaned from Lyon to Bourg-en-Bresse. They are near neighbours, the two clubs, and they've developed a partnership. Bourg-en-Bresse have certainly done very well in the last couple of seasons to consolidate at this level. Lower mid-table finishes in each of the last two campaigns. At the moment, they would certainly settle for, well, just anywhere above 18th place. It's 18th place that they occupy at the moment. Third bottom spot in the second division is a relegation playoff place at the end of the campaign, with the team that finishes third in the third tier. But they would prefer to avoid that altogether. At the moment, though, they have their work cut out to do that, because they're 5 points behind the team just above them, which is Nancy. Nancy, the former club of Michel Platini, of course. Abdennour to Maxime Lopez. Adil Rami now for Bounassar. Clinton NG to Luis Gustavo, Ocampos, Payet. Campos looking for Lopez, but he's given it back to the home team. Jimmy Nielo, stalwart in midfield. Of course, giving that ball away to Mitroglou. It could be number 5 here, Kostas Mitroglou. It is. It's a second goal of the evening for Kostas Mitroglou. And quite remarkably, Marseille have scored a 5th goal before half-time. Well, this not something that Johan Cour will want to see again. He was one of the heroes in the last round, scoring in the win here against Toulouse. But Cour giving that ball away. And Mitroglou with a neat finish past the advancing goalkeeper. He's found his confidence again. Kostas Mitroglou, the former Olympiacos man, had that awful spell in England with Fulham and relaunched his career with Benfica, and Marseille had high hopes for him. Just 4 goals for the club before tonight. 2 more this evening. And that's 11 in a game and a half for Marseille. And a bit harsh on Bourg-en-Bresse. They've already suffered one particularly heavy defeat at home this season, conceding 6 against Lens in a league game back in the autumn. Can Marseille get a 6th before half-time here? Lucas Ocampos for Payet. Payet's low ball across the face of goal. Oh, it wasn't far away from finding Mitroglou. He's on a hat-trick, Kostas Mitroglou. Great ball from Payet. Mitroglou, I think, was just waiting for the goalkeeper to get a touch to it and was very surprised when he didn't. Nielo. Henry blocked by Clinton Ng. Well, it's certainly not going to be a repeat of those famous wins back in that cup run of 1998 when they beat Metz, having also beaten Montpellier before being edged out by Lyon in the quarter-finals. They are being taken apart by a very strong Marseille team this evening. It's 5-0. It could easily have been 6 or 7. Clearance by Rami, only as far as Pierre Charles. And Marseille go on the break again here. Bourg-en-Bresse committing men forward every time. Clinton Ng. It's a poor ball from Ng for Lopez. It might just come back to him, though. It does, but he's offside. The assistant on the near side here with his flag up. Clinton Ng back the way to Bounassar. Remember, there are no video assistant referees involved in this game. Video assistant refereeing being trialled in the latter stages of the Coupe de la Ligue in France this season, and of course being used in other competitions throughout Europe. Yannis Mergi will not keep that ball in play. It's proving to be a very frustrating evening for him. And it's a lesson, really, for the home team. "45 minutes have come and gone, no time added on, mercifully, for Bourg-en-Bresse. It is a subdued Stade Marcel Verchères which greets the half-time whistle here. Kostas Mitroglou with 2 goals and an assist. He needs to rebuild his confidence. Well, it's going very well indeed for him and for Marseille this evening. They lead by 5 goals to 0 at half-time in this French Cup round of 16 tie. Luis Gustavo with the opener, Dimitri Payet with the second goal from a free kick. Lucas Ocampos got the third, set up by Mitroglou, who then netted a brace himself. And I think it's safe to say that the 10-time winners are heading through to the quarter-finals. The only doubt now is by how many. Will they look to add some more in the second half, or can Bourg-en-Bresse save face after the break and get something back? It's been a horrible evening for them thus far. Welcome back to the Stade Marcel Verchères. The teams are out then for the second half here. And the supporters, well, shivering in the cold and the snow, which is falling more and more heavily as the minutes go by. Snow which has been sweeping down across France. Heavy snowfall in the capital, Paris, today, and across much of the country. Luckily, this game has gone ahead as planned, and, well, perhaps unfortunately for Bourg-en-Bresse, maybe they would have liked the weather to intervene. It would have been very difficult had it been postponed, given that Marseille's fixture schedule. They have a Europa League tie to deal with next midweek. They play Braga. And then the week after that, it's the second leg of that Europa League tie. And the week after that, it's the quarter-finals of the French Cup, which has been condensed into a tighter schedule this season, with an earlier finish to the campaign ahead of the World Cup. We're underway in the second half here. Marseille leading by 5 goals to 0. The final outcome of this tie, not any doubt about it, was extinguished after the first 20 minutes. Marseille running away with the game in the early stages. They have been utterly ruthless, and they have shown their top-flight quality this evening. The quality of his side, sitting in second place in Ligue 1. They've only lost once in the league since September. They're in terrific form. 1 defeat in 19 league games. That's half a season. And just 1 loss away at Lyon. Drew against Monaco just over a week ago at the Velodrome. Drew with Paris Saint-Germain at home back in the autumn. They have a trip to Paris Saint-Germain to come just a few weeks' time. And on current form, well, they might just fancy getting a result in the capital, the way they're playing. Do they have the hunger to keep on scoring goals in the second half? This is the first of the 8 midweek French Cup round of 16 ties. Shortly after this one is due to finish, the holders, Paris Saint-Germain, will kick off away against Sochaux of Ligue 2. Without Neymar, who was celebrating his birthday the other night in a lavish party in the capital. And then tomorrow evening, Wednesday, Lyon are in action against Montpellier in an all top-flight tie. The action continuing on into Thursday with Grenoble due to play Strasbourg of Ligue 1. And so another couple of days till we know the full quarter-final lineup. Marseille could be in again. There we have it. Number 6, Lucas Ocampos, his second of the night. And for the second game running, they have scored 6 goals. And the second half starting as the first half ended. Marseille absolutely running riot. Clinton NG with the flick. And the through ball. Picking out Lucas Ocampos. The finish at the near post. It gets worse and worse for the home team. That goal timed on 48 minutes. If there was any doubt as to whether Marseille would have the appetite to keep on looking for more goals in the second half, well, that was the confirmation. Abdenour fouled by Kevin Koubemba there. Saw one for the Tunisian defender. Kevin Kubemba, who used to play for Lille in the top flight and had a stint in Bulgaria with CSKA Sofia before arriving at Bourg-en-Bresse last month. See this Marseille move again. Luis Gustavo linking up with Dimitri Payet. Sarr to Ng, and Lopez had a little look to see where Ocampos was, and Ocampos with the finish. Oh, he's enjoying himself, isn't he? And Marseille are enjoying themselves too. 6-0 in front. They're scoring goals for fun at the moment. The French Cup has provided us with plenty of memorable upsets down the years, and this is not going to be one of them. Payet's free kick towards Mitroglou. The goalkeeper has come off his line, and Sébastien Calamont got away with that one. Pape back the way to Nicolas Sanrouf. There are players with top-level experience in the Bourg-en-Bresse ranks, the likes of Pape and Nicolas Sanrouf and Johan Cour as well, have all played in the top flight. Payet's early ball towards Mitroglou's touch let him down on that occasion. He's not the most nimble of footballers, Kostas Mitroglou. He is effective when he has confidence, when he's on his game. Here's Mergi. Yanis Mergi looking for Ndiaye. Jordan Amavi to Payet. Jordan Amavi back in French football this season after a stint in the English game with Aston Villa. Rudy Garcia, the coach, doesn't look too happy, does he? But his team putting on a show this evening. Payet with the ball over the top. Brilliant towards Clinton Ng, who checks his run. Waits for some support, thinks about the shot, finds Mitroglou. The offside flag is up. Well, maybe Clinton Ng could have been a bit more selfish there, trying to be clever with the ball towards Kostas Mitroglou. Why not get his own name on the score sheet? Clinton Ng, the one attacking player for Marseille who hasn't thus far. Luis Gustavo. Lucas Ocampos. Cut out by Sanrouf. Collected by Niolo. Well, Bourg-en-Bresse have lost 4 of the 5 league games they've played since the turn of the year. And this will be another defeat tonight. And a sore one for the home team. Just as that was a sore one for Amavi. Bunassar across to Clinton Ng. Maxime Lopez. Luis Gustavo. Abdenour for Amavi. Jimmy Nielo, the skipper, going back towards his own goal. Was rescued there by the referee's whistle. Ndiaye looking for Mergi up front. Yanis Mergi, whose own story is quite remarkable. He was an electrician until only about 18 months ago. He finally gave it up in pursuit of a professional football career. He was playing in the regional leagues up until that point. Now he's playing in the second division in France. He scored 7 goals in the league this season for Bourg-en-Bresse. Not bad going. And now getting his chance against the mighty Marseille, who, by the way, are going to make a change of their own in a moment. Boubacar Camara, one of their talented youngsters coming through the ranks, is going to come on. And the referee's whistle. It's a Marseille free kick. They might make the change now. Francois Letexier, the referee, will allow it, and a logical one, really, with big games coming up. Rudy Garcia is going to give a rest to Luis Gustavo. Applause from not just the Marseille fans, but from around the whole ground. He's been outstanding once again, the Brazilian. What a signing he has proven to be, and Boubacar Camara comes on. Now, will he go straight into the midfield? First touch for Camara. Camara finding Payet. Payet's ball for Ocampos, who's brought down on the edge of the box, but no foul according to the referee. I need to take another look at that one. Camara playing deep in midfield. Lopez. Bounassar's attempted cross deflected behind, and well, we see Bounassar, Lucas Ocampos protesting to the referee. He clearly felt that he was fouled. Nicolas Saint-Ruf is the defender. Well, he put his arm around Ocampos's midriff. When you do that, there's always a chance that you'll concede a foul. And Marseille nearly scoring a 7th goal. Ocampos at the near post. Payet's ball in, and Ocampos just not really connecting with it. Hervé Della Maggiore looks like he's suffering. He's going to make a change. Aurélien Favre, the number 13, is primed and ready to come on. Very hard for a coach in these circumstances. Just how do you lift the heads of the players? Some fresh legs could only help. And it will be Aurélien Favre to come on. Camara. Marseille in no mood to give possession away just yet. And the ball has gone out for a Marseille throw, and I think Bourg-en-Bresse will look to make the change here. The left back, Jordan Pierre-Charles, is the player who will come off. Well, he has suffered tonight. Jordan Pierre-Charles up against Clinton Ng, playing on the Marseille right. Signed last month, Jordan Pierre-Charles from Bourg-en-Bresse's second division rivals Valenciennes, to help strengthen the squad in their fight to avoid relegation. And Favre going across to take up that position at left back. Marseille would just keep the ball moving, happy to keep possession until a chance arises. Bourg-en-Bresse surely just need to defend better and a little bit deeper for the remainder of this game, and stop making it so easy for Marseille with the pace they've got, with the quality they have on the ball of the likes of Payet. Jordan Amavi. Rudy Garcia will be delighted to have Amavi back, because that position has been a problem position for him in recent weeks, with Amavi out injured, of course. Patrice Evra left the club under a real cloud in the autumn after a rather unfortunate incident with a supporter before the Europa League game against Vitória Guimarães in Portugal, and left Rudy Garcia without any other obvious options at left back, apart from Henri Bedimo, who was completely frozen out of the squad prior to the winter break. Has been involved a bit more in 2018, and indeed Bedimo is a substitute this evening. I wonder if we'll see him at some point, if Amavi will last the whole 90 minutes. It's not going to go beyond 90 minutes, that's for sure. Extra time and penalties are a possibility in the French Cup, but Marseille have this sewn up as we approach the hour mark, and they've got themselves another free kick here. Mergi. Mergi's pass aimed towards Yuan Kour, cut out by Amavi. Amavi's still going. I don't think Mitroglou will get to that. Jordan Amavi, if he can stay fit in the next few months and keep playing well, but you never know, he could yet go to the World Cup. France do have one or two problems at left back with Benjamin Mendy, the former Marseille player, currently recovering from a serious knee injury at Manchester City, and Layvin Kurzawa's form not the best at the moment for Paris Saint-Germain. Maybe the door could open for Amavi. Campos losing out. Hervé de la Maggiore watching on. Ball towards Payet, but it will run through to Sébastien Calamont, the Bourg on Bresse goalkeeper. And Dia doing well. 22-year-olds in midfield who recently broke into the team. Helped tonight by the absence of Christopher Martins Pereira, who probably would have played had he been able to. Ayman Abdenour back to Steve Mandanda. Hasn't had much to do tonight, Mandanda. Rami. Camara. Off goes Clinton NG. Stopped by the tackle from Nicolas Sanroof on that occasion. Well, I'm not sure what Marseille's next opponents will make of this. Their form at the minute. Saint-Etienne up next. Saint-Etienne side who've been struggling in the league this season, but have strengthened their squad significantly in the January window with signings like Mathieu Debuchy, France international, who played under Rudy Garcia at Lille. One or two others, likes of Neven Subotic from Borussia Dortmund. Yann Villa, the France midfielder, returning to Ligue 1. They are looking a bit stronger and should give Marseille a better game than they've had tonight, or than they had last weekend against Metz, who are bottom of the table in Ligue 1. But on current form, I don't think anybody wants to play against Marseille. Second in the Ligue 1 table, and ahead of both Monaco and Lyon in the fight for Champions League qualification next season. It looks like just two of those three will make it into the Champions League, along with Paris Saint-Germain, the runaway leaders. Amavi powering forward from left back. It's good tracking back from Kevin Kubemba, to be fair to him. And he's done well. Ball across to the far side. Guillaume Henry into the path of Mergi. Mergi just pushed further away from goal by Ayman Abdenour. That was good defending from the big centre-back. Corner played short. It's a decent delivery, cleared by Adil Rami. Might fall for Kubemba. Slices it high and wide into the Marseille support. And Marseille are going to make another change, and it's a change that we suspected might be forthcoming from Rudy Garcia. Jordan Amavi, a job well done tonight. Unlucky not to have been on the score sheet with this terrific strike in the first half. Turned over the bar by Sébastien Calamont. First game in a month for Jordan Amavi after injury, and he is replaced by Henri Bedimo, who gets a rare run out. And meanwhile, the home team replacing Kevin Kubemba with Adam Assar in attack. Still more than a quarter of this cup tie to play. Fortunately for Bourg-en-Bresse, it does look as though Marseille have taken their foot off the gas a little bit. It's given away by Payet. Mergi into space for Yohan Kour. He's won his team a corner. The block from Ayman Abdenour. Hervé de la Maggiore was pleased to have Yohan Kour back in the side this evening. A January recruit, having been with Casalecca Ajaccio in Corsica. It's a decent delivery, but the header is won by Abdenour. That's a Marseille free kick. The flag coming up once Kour went towards the ball. Camera. Just worth emphasising how impressive this Marseille performance has been, given that key players are out for them. It's not just Florian Thauvin, who's got 14 goals in all competitions. Valère Germain, who's scored 12 times altogether this season. Both missing tonight. We've not seen Morgan Sanson, who's also in double figures in terms of goals. He's on the bench tonight, and there's no Andre Frank Zombo Anguissa either, a player who's appeared in every league game this season, the big midfielder from Cameroon. I haven't needed to call on him. Strength in depth is there, and Rudy Garcia will need every one of these players in the weeks ahead, as Marseille challenge for success on three fronts. Second in the league, still in the Europa League, and heading through to the last 8 of the French Cup. Remember, they were the runners-up in the French Cup 2 years ago, outclassed by Paris Saint-Germain, their great rivals in the final. 10 times they've won it, only PSG with 11 have won it more. PSG, of course, have dominated the French Cup in the last few seasons. They've won 3 on the bounce and have to be the favourites to win it again this year. Hervé de la Maggiore comes from the Lyon area, started out playing with Olympique Lyonnais, albeit never made a proper career there. Ocampos inside to Payet. Payet stopped on the edge of the box, surrounded by blue shirts. That's a bit better from the home team. Mergi finding Johan Cour. Used to play in the top flight for Troyes, Johan Cour. He's got plenty of experience, used to be on the books at Lyon as well. And the shot from Guillaume Henry was a decent strike. A comfortable save for Steve Mandanda. One of the first saves he's had to make tonight. Not easy to beat a goalkeeper of Mandanda's quality from there. And as we see the replay, Marseille come forward again. Payet. Clinton Ng outside him. Ng drilling it in towards the near post and straight into the arms of Calamon, the goalkeeper. Mandanda under pressure, still looking to play it out from the back. It's very neatly done by Marseille. Camara, Clinton Ng, again space for Ng. This is where Marseille can do so much damage. Payet has been an exhibition from the likes of Payet and his fellow Marseille attackers tonight, and Lucas Ocampos has a hat-trick. Marseille have 7. Well, Dimitri Payet with the brilliant assist, and Ocampos with the touch. In fact, the last touch, I think, might have come off Pat Pie. Ocampos will happily claim it. And if so, it's a triple for him. And it is a humiliation for Bourg-en-Bresse, really, and Marseille can make another change. A job very well done for Dimitri Payet. He's got his goal. Terrific free kick in the first half. And he will make way for the closing stages for Youssouf Sarri, the youngster who made his first start in the last round in the narrow win away at 4th tier Minnows Epinal. Marseille made hard work of that. They're not making hard work of this tonight. Bourg-en-Bresse still coming forward in search of a consolation. And as we see the replay, the referee brandishing a yellow card at Adam Assar, the substitute. Well, I think simply for dissent. And Jimmy Nielo, the captain, asking why. Supposed to be a memorable occasion for the home players and fans, everyone connected with the club. I think now it's a game that they'd probably rather put behind them as soon as possible. Get somewhere and get warmed up and start thinking about their fight for survival in the second division again. And if you've tuned in tonight hoping to see a French Cup upset, Well, instead, in fairness, you have seen quite an exhibition from Marseille, and confirmation that they are in fearsome form just now. 1 goal apiece for the 2 star men, the 2 top-paid players in the Marseille ranks, in Luis Gustavo and Dimitri Payet. And then 3 for Lucas Ocampos and 2 for Kostas Mitroglou. Presume that 7th goal will be awarded to Ocampos. Touch off the defender as it went in, just raising a slight doubt. Yes, there's a gulf between these 2 teams, between these clubs, but let's not forget that Bourg-en-Bresse beat a Ligue 1 side in Toulouse in the last round as Grégoire Amiot mops up. Sébastien Calamont had come out towards that ball. Grégoire Amiot, who was a free agent when he joined Bourg-en-Bresse ahead of this season from Reims, the club who are currently running away with the 2nd division title. Guillaume Henry infield for Yanis Mergi. Lopez. Rami's ball forward, looking for Youssouf Sarri. Rudy Garcia using the French Cup as an opportunity to blood some of his younger talent. Marseille's academy has not been one of the more productive ones in France down the years. But now we have Maxime Lopez, Boubacar Kamara and Youssouf Sarri on the field for the closing stages of this game. Maxime Lopez is our revelation as he broke through into the first team last season under Rudy Garcia, who came in a couple of months into the campaign following, of course, the takeover of Olympique de Marseille by the American tycoon Frank McCourt. It's all change at the top of the club. And Marseille embarking on what they called their Champions Project, with McCourt, the owner, and a new president in Jacques-Henri Ayrault, a new sporting director in Andoni Subisarreta, the Spaniard, formerly of Barcelona. With Rudy Garcia in his coach as well, the aim to, first of all, get Marseille up the table. They did that, they qualified for Europe last season, then get them into the Champions League as quickly as possible. They're on course to do that. Some silverware as well wouldn't go amiss. Marseille, the only French club, of course, to have won the Champions League in 1993. Last won the Ligue 1 title in 2010 under Didier Deschamps. They briefly dominated the French game before Paris Saint-Germain's real emergence under their Qatari owners. Just 1 or 2 signs that Marseille might be able to compete a little bit with PSG again now, having really struggled against the club from the capital in the last few seasons. They were very unlucky not to beat them a few months ago when the teams met at the Velodrome in the league, and Marseille were in front until Edinson Cavani's late free kick rescued a point for Paris. Bourg-en-Bresse getting ready to make another change. Maxime Lopez across to Adil Rami. He's got the armband on now. Sarr towards Clinton Ng. Ng's performance deserves a goal, you feel. Marseille substitutes still warming up down there, including Giorgio Rolando and Hiroki Sakai. Bourg-en-Bresse will make their 3rd change. Yanis Mergi coming off, the former electrician. He's gone from the regional leagues to the professional ranks in a very short space of time. He's found it going tough tonight. Yanis Mergi. boyhood friend of Corentin Tolisso, the France midfielder these days playing for Bayern Munich, having previously been at Lyon. Mergi makes way for Fabien Chenkua for the closing stages. It's the view here at the Stade Marcel Vercher. Sold out tonight, with tickets going cheap. Fans paying between just 8 and 15 euros for a ticket for this one. The 7,000 crowd have seen 7 goals, but sadly for them, all of them have come for Marseille, and Marseille might not be finished yet. Francois Le Texier, the referee, I think just checking if that ball was indeed in the spot for the corner. Nicolas Saint-Ruf, the defender, was playing in Ligue 1 last season for Bastia. Adil Rami. Still the light snow falls. Sarr again coming forward. Sarri. On the ball in, and there's another goal. And Mitroglou, oh, well might he smile, it's a hat-trick for Kostas Mitroglou. The goals keep on coming, and Sarri, the young substitute, with the assist this time. The cross drilled towards the far post, and Mitroglou just stealing half a yard on Papai and heading in his second header of the evening. A third goal, as well as an assist. And having also found the net, of course, last weekend in the league. Mitroglou, is he finally finding his feet? He's nearly doubled his own tally for the season tonight. 4 before this evening. Now he's up to 7. 8-0. So many goals that there's not enough room to show them all there. Started with one apiece for Luis Gustavo and Dimitri Payet. And Lucas Ocampos and Kostas Mitroglou have taken over since then. It is not very often that you see such a one-sided game. It's not the first time we've seen a big French club score 8 in 2018, of course. Paris Saint-Germain putting 8 past Dijon in a Ligue 1 game just a few weeks ago. Most of the top 2 divisions separate these two teams. There is a yawning gulf in quality, in financial power between them. And that has been translated into a huge Marseille win tonight. And if you're keeping up with the numbers, that is now 14 scored in 2 games for Rudy Garcia's side. Can they get another one? And G's cross nearly came to Mitroglou, turned behind by Nicolas Saint-Ruf. This is a defender with experience of Ligue 1, remember. Bastia and Montpellier among his former clubs. He's on loan from Nancy. And he concedes the corner, which Maxime Lopez plays short to NG. The cross in aimed at Abdenour, picked up by Mitroglou. Lopez might come back to Mitroglou. Well, that was more like the Kostas Mitroglou of earlier in the season. The finish was heading out for a throw-in. Kept in play by Ocampos. The ball towards Abdenour. will be another corner. It's been a punishing evening for Bourg-en-Bresse. All credit to their supporters. Having packed out the stadium tonight. Pretty much all of them still here as the clock ticks towards 84 minutes. 8:30 in the evening on this snowy winter's evening. And with their team losing by 8-0, Sébastien Calamont couldn't catch the corner, but he's found Guillaume Henry. Ocampos will fall for Camara. Henry. Clinton Ng. Well, the referee and the Bourg-en-Bresse captain just exchanging words again. Jimmy Nierlo, the skipper. Clinton Ng with the foul on Fabien Chenkua. Well, I would at least love to get a consolation goal. It would be something to cheer on this horrible night for them. Lucas Ocampos has been caught. He's gone down. The play continues. Johan Cour. Bourg-en-Bresse not about to stop and put the ball out for him. Cour's shot is dragged wide. And Ocampos in some pain on the near side here, very close to the Marseille bench. Marseille have already made 3 changes. That was the challenge on him. I think he'll be okay, but Marseille, of course, don't want to lose any major players to injury before some massive games with Saint-Etienne up next, and then Braga and Paris Saint-Germain not too far away, round the corner. Paris Saint-Germain potential quarter-final opponents, of course, if they can get through their tie away against Sochaux a little later this evening. It's another free kick to the home team, and just a few minutes left now for them to just keep going. Remember, Marseille were 4-0 up inside the first 20 minutes or so here. And they've just kept on going. And Ndiaye. A perfect evening for Rudy Garcia's side. They may be wondering if they'll be able to make it back to Marseille without any problems given the weather conditions. Having flown up here from the Mediterranean coast. Sarri could be in here. The referee thinks about it, and he has given the penalty. And there might be time to add another goal. Youssouf Sarri, the young substitute, showing a terrific appetite to get on the end of that pass in the box, and having already set up 1 goal since his introduction. Well, he did get to that ball before Nicolas Saint-Ruf. And it doesn't look like Saint-Ruf played the ball. It looks like he took something of the man. Not completely conclusive from that angle. But it's a night when just about everything that can go wrong for Bourg-en-Bresse has gone wrong. And Clinton Ng having already said that his performance merited a goal. He's going to get the chance from the penalty spot here, and NG scores it, sending the hapless Sébastien Calamon the wrong way. And that is the icing on the cake as far as Marseille are concerned. Clinton NG joining in the fun. Nice and easy from 12 yards. The number 9 scores it, and it's number 9 for Marseille. An incredible scoreline here in the French Cup tonight. Bourg-en-Bresse 0, Olympique de Marseille 9. A truly astonishing scoreline. As the clock ticks towards 90 minutes. 5 in the first half, 4 more in the second from Marseille. All this without Florian Thauvin, without Valère Germain. And without a hope for Bourg-en-Bresse. They were never in it after Marseille got the opener. It shouldn't be forgotten that they started the game pretty well for the first 8 or 9 minutes. There might yet be time for Marseille to get it into double figures here. Oh no, there won't be. The 90 minutes have come and gone. No time added on by François Letexier, the referee. Bourg-en-Bresse will be relieved about that. A dreadful evening for them is brought to an end. Marseille crushing their second division hosts here tonight. A 9-0 victory in the round of 16 of the French Cup. Hat-tricks for Kostas Mitroglou and Lucas Ocampos. Luis Gustavo got the opener. Dimitri Payet scored a free kick, and Clinton NG rounding it off with a late penalty. It's not a scoreline you see too often in football. Bourg-en-Bresse were dreaming of causing another upset heading into this one, with memories of their remarkable run to the quarter-finals in 1998 when they beat an excellent Metz team who finished second in Ligue 1 that year on the way. Well, Marseille, currently second in Ligue 1, never gave them a chance this evening. 9-0 the final scoreline, and the 10-time winners march on to the quarter-finals. They haven't won the French Cup since 1989. Could they win it this year? Well, on current form, nobody will fancy playing them next. The snow getting heavier now here as the two sets of players make their way off at the Stade Marcel Verchères. A memorable occasion, but really for all the wrong reasons for Bourg-en-Bresse. Sadly for them, they bow out of the French Cup.